A kaleidoscope of light, a symphony of sound. Times Square, the beating heart of New York City, pulsed with relentless energy. Millions, hungry for experience, surged through its veins daily. Giant LED screens blazed with adverts, their neon glow reflecting in the glassy eyes of tourists. The air vibrated with the blare of taxis, the rumble of the subway, and the excited chatter of a million conversations. This was humanity at its most vibrant, a testament to its boundless energy. Then silence, absolute and complete. One moment a young couple argued over which Broadway show to see, the next they were gone, vanished, as if they had never been. The cacophony of the city dwindled to an eerie hum, the residual energy of a life force extinguished. The light show continued, oblivious to the empty streets below. This was not a blackout, this was something far more profound. Humanity had blinked out of existence. An unsettling stillness had settled over Times Square. The only movement was the wind, now free to whip discarded food wrappers and plastic bags into ghostly dances. Traffic lights cycled through their meaningless sequence, a silent ballet for an absent audience. Deep beneath the surface, the subway rumbled on its final journey, its carriages empty. In the distance, a siren wailed, abruptly cut short. The silence was heavier now, pregnant with the unknown. Dusk painted the deserted cityscape in hues of orange and purple. With the setting sun, the power grid began to falter. The dazzling billboards that had illuminated Times Square for decades flickered and died, plunging the once vibrant square into an unsettling darkness. The temperature, no longer warmed by the city's bustling activity, and the endless maze of underground heating systems began to drop. The first whispers of winter's chill settled upon the deserted concrete jungle. A new day dawned, but Times Square remained cloaked in an unnatural silence. The constant hum of traffic, the roar of planes overhead, the symphony of the city were all gone. The only sounds were the rustle of the wind and the skittering of rats, emboldened by the absence of their human pursuers. A lone dog, confused and whimpering, sniffed at a discarded hot dog, its owner lost to the ether. Nature, ever opportunistic, had begun to reclaim its dominion. 1 month after the vanishing, the first tendrils of green had begun to push through the cracks in the concrete. Times Square, starved of human intervention, was surrendering to nature's relentless advance. Weeds, their seeds carried on the wind, took root in the smallest pockets of soil. Rainwater, no longer diverted by drainage systems, pooled in the streets, creating miniature reflecting pools reflecting the empty sky. The air, once thick with exhaust fumes, now carried the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. The seasons had painted their passage on the face of the abandoned city. A harsh winter had driven cracks deep into the asphalt, loosening the grip of the concrete jungle. Spring rains, seeping into these fissures, nurtured the seeds of a verdant rebellion. Vines like emerald serpents snaked their way up the legs of buildings, their tendrils prying at the edges of windows. Trees, their roots cracking pavements, staked their claim to this once untamable landscape. The cityscape was barely recognizable. Buildings, once proud monuments to human endeavor, stood cloaked in a tapestry of green. Trees, their branches heavy with foliage, reached for the sky, dwarfing the structures they embraced. Where once millions had jostled for space, a young forest thrived. Birdsong filled the air, replacing the cacophony of traffic. Deer grazed on the overgrown lawns of Times Square, their hooves clicking against the crumbling concrete, a gentle counterpoint to the silence. A century after the vanishing, a stranger stumbling upon this scene would be forgiven for thinking they had discovered a lost world. A dense forest canopy shrouded Times Square, filtering the sunlight through a million leaves. The ruins of skyscrapers, swallowed by vegetation, stood like ancient monoliths, their glass and steel skeletons softened by moss and lichen. A river, swollen by a century of unhindered rainfall, flowed where Broadway once stood, a testament to nature's enduring power to reclaim what was once hers. Then, a sound, a low hum, alien to the ears of the forest's inhabitants. A spacecraft descended, settling gently amongst the trees. From it emerged figures clad in strange garments, humans, returning to a world they no longer recognized. The Earth they left behind was gone, replaced by a wilder, greener planet. The concrete jungle of Times Square had become a true jungle, a symbol of nature's resilience and a stark reminder of humanity's impermanence. The newcomers stood in awe, gazing upon this new world, their future uncertain, their past a distant, fading memory.